Welcome back. This is Chicken Philosophy, the Divine Pymander, Part 8, in which we'll pick up where BT left off in Part 7. That's the bad news. What's the good news? The good news is the coffeehouse got a makeover. For those who are new, I'm Gwydion. My main page is Gwydion's Astral Coffeehouse. It was a blog, and then it became a YouTube channel and a Facebook group. It's on the astral. It has a few contact points with the physical universe. Among them are the New World Empire and the Interdimensional Coffeehouse, which is somewhere. It's here. You can find that on Amazon. Don't worry about it too much. But the point is, this is new. This image. Last night, I got out some colored pencils, and I took a picture. I took this picture and did a negative image of it to get the idea for what colors I should approximate. And then I drew this, and then I scanned it and did a negative image of it, and it came out like this. So I rather enjoy that. Anyway, Gwydion's Astral Coffeehouse, check it out. But that the image itself, there's some overlap, you see, because first it all started. I've told this story before, so for the older folks, I might be boring you a little. Sorry. When I was taking nutmeg as a teenager, and I was on someone's roof, and they were asking me questions about the future. Then that became the foundation for the sci-fi, like the whole New World Empire thing. And then, stuff happened. So then the Interdimensional Coffeehouse was a concept in that world, in the world of the New World Empire. There was this side sort of like offhanded comment, like intriguing in my mind, that Charles the Grey was working on this thing, and then it became a thing. And so then I named my blog that, and my website that, and my YouTube that, and all these things. So you know what I mean. Then I fleshed it out, not flushed it out. I fleshed it out and published the book. So it started as the Interdimensional Coffeehouse, then it became Gwydion's Astral Coffeehouse, then it went back to the Interdimensional Coffeehouse, but they're very closely intertwined. And the actual video that I made this as a thumbnail for was a recent video, the Interdimensional Coffeehouse. So I do recommend it. There is a short version. I think I don't know how many seconds, but if I can, I'll link you to that right here. All right. Enough with the links. So in other news, those who have been around for more than a minute will be aware that this is a thing. 2 chicken philosophies for every 1 Buddhist books, and I decided a few months ago I was going to be very strict about that, and maybe I was even going to do cycles of 22 instead of 15 or whatever, and incorporate the Buddhist books episodes in their spot where they belong, or make a cycle of 90 or all of this. And the reason I was going on about all that in this episode, the in between 15, is because I Buddhist books was getting picked over. Chicken philosophy was getting chosen over Buddhist books too often, so that sometimes there'd be a 2 or 3 week period where only 1 Buddhist books episode would come out, and I'm never going to get through even half of these books if I let that become a habit. So I became very strict about it, and today is the day that I am finally giving myself a pass. I'm going to try not to make a habit of it, but there it is. So we're doing Divine Pymander, because I, for whatever reason, partially the robes and the weather, I didn't want to do the Shingon episode. I think I'm all out. I'm all out, right? That didn't pop up. Episode 11 is going to be coming out soon. And we just finished, I think, talking about the Vajra spikes. It's all very interesting from the perspective of, like, that these things developed, some of them developed in my wife's hometown, like over in Bihar, in the London University and stuff. They were doing a lot of these things that got outsourced to Tibet and Japan in the form of Shingon, and that's the Vajrayana. So it's interesting to like find out, because it was basically wiped out. There's a few statues and there's some evidence that there was Vajrayana Buddhism in India, but other than that, like, it didn't survive the invasions of the second half of the age of Pisces. Who was in charge during that 1,000-year period? Anyway, all right. So cheers. Today's water is water. Not very original. Today's incense is also not very original. It's not champa. It's the same one I used last time, because I didn't put a lot of thought into it, and it was here, and I said, good enough. Good enough. I don't mind another Nag Champa vibed episode. The Divine Pymander of Hermes Trismegistus, Chapter 4. To his own son Tat, Discourse, the Crater or Monad. It says crater, C-R-A-T-E-R. Is that like an arcane? 1. The Creator, not with hands, but by word, made the whole world, so that conceive of him thuswise, as of the present and ever being, and having made all things, and one and only, and by his own will having created the entities. For this is the body of him, not touchable, nor visible, nor measurable, nor separable, nor like to any other body. For he is neither fire, nor water, nor air, nor spirit, but all are from him. For being good, he willed to dedicate this to himself alone. Try that again. For being good, he willed to dedicate this to himself alone, and to adorn the earth. That's what good people do? Well, anyway. 2. But as ornament of divine body, he sent down the man, immortal animal, mortal animal, and the man indeed excelled the animals and the world because of the speech and of the mind. For the man became spectator of the works of the God, and wondered, and acknowledged the Maker. 3. The speech then, O Tat, he hath imparted among all the men, but by no means the mind, not envying any. For envy cometh not thence, but is conceived below. I just discovered this, by the way.
You've come. I mean, I knew you would come, but you've come.
I have come.
I know I'm probably late to the party, but just now you've seen it too, so all is well in the world. For the mind became spectator, for the man became spectator of the works of the God, and wondered, and acknowledged the Maker. 3. The speech then, O Tat, that's where we were. He hath imparted among all the men, but by no means the mind, not envying any. For envy cometh not thence. Yeah, right. That's where we got sidetracked. But is conceived below in the souls of those men who have not the mind. Tat apparently replies or speaks. I think that was omniscient narrator voice until now. Tat, wherefore then, O Father, has not the God imparted the mind to all men? Hermes replies, he willed, O child, this to be stationed in the midst, as it were a prize for the souls. The mind, a prize for the souls. 4. Tat. And where hath he stationed it? Herms. Having filled a great cup of this, he sent down, giving a herald, and commanded him to proclaim to the hearts of men these things. Baptize thyself, who is able into this cup, into this the cup. Baptize yourself into this the cup. It's good advice for anybody who's previously taken my advice about throwing it all in the fire. You gotta baptize yourself in the cup afterward. It's important. Don't forget that part. Who is believing that thou shalt return to him who hath sent down the cup? Who is recognizing for what thou wast generated? As many, then, as understood the proclamation, and were baptized with the mind. These partook of the knowledge, and became perfect men, having received the mind. But as many as failed of the proclamation, they having obtained the speech, but not the mind, are ignorant for what they were generated, and by whom. 5. But the senses of these are very like those of the irrational animals, and having the temperament and cupidity. I think there's a spectrum. It's not just two. I think most of us would find ourselves in between those, humans who have received the mind and humans who have not received the mind. I think in this context, having received the mind, strictly speaking, might be likened to either gnosis or satori or something like that. Anyway, I'll keep reading. 5. The senses of these are very like those of the irrational animals, and having the temperament in cupidity and passion, they admire not those things worthy of contemplation, but attaching themselves to the pleasures and appetites of the body. I remember the fucking transition. I swear to God, I wanted to lop it off and be done with it when I noticed that I was no longer able to just be fascinated by the universe and the mathematics of it all, because puberty kicked in. It's like you're just involuntarily thrust into a completely different vibe. Your aura is going to be shit for a while, young man. Just accept it. Where were we? Oh, shit, I don't. Believe that the man was generated for the sake of these, but as many as have partaken of the gift that is from the God, these, O Tat, according to comparison of the works, are immortal instead of mortal, embracing all things in their own mind, those upon the earth, those in heaven, and if there is anything above heaven. So much having elevated themselves, they beheld the good, and having beheld, they have considered their sojourn here as misfortune, and having despised all things corporeal and incorporeal, they hasten to the one and only. All right. More compatible with Jesus and Vedanta than, strictly speaking, some kind of Nagarjuna, self is non-self, self, stop asking, mu interpretation of Buddhism. 6. This, O Tat, is the science of the mind, the inspection of divine things, and the recognition of the cup, of the God, the cup being divine. Oh, I can't resist. One moment. And the Elohim hath given them dominion over the fish of the sea. Right? So he's emphasizing that. This one isn't bad. The chapters are clearly very different. It almost strikes me as like different authors? I don't know. I forget what that guy in the intro said and whether it was different authors, but it feels like different authors. People saying different things in different ways. You know what I mean? Cheers. All right. Don't forget. Okay. Tat. I too wish to be baptized, O Father. Herms, unless first thou shalt hate the body. Do you hate your body? Mm-hmm. O child, thou canst not love thyself. Oh. But having loved thyself, thou shalt have mind. And this is capital M mind, by the way, mind you. And having the mind, thou shalt obtain also the science. Herms, what? Tat, how sayest thou these things, O Father? Herms, for it is impossible, O child, to be about both, about things mortal, namely, and things divine. For of entities there being two, body and bodiless, in which the mortal and the divine are understood, the choice of one or the other is left to him who wisheth to choose. Yeah. So if you want to, stick with the, no, it's unknowable or formless, yeah, let him stick to that. If someone else wants to say, no, it's this cup, let him say that. Come on. Don't be an asshole. For it is not possible that both concur, but with whomsoever the selection is left, the one being diminished hath manifested the energy of the other. 7. The choice, then, of the more excellent not only happens most fair to the chooser to deify the man, but also shows forth the piety towards God. But that of the inferior hath indeed destroyed the man, but he hath transgressed nothing towards God, but this only, that like as pageantries, right? Yeah, pass on in the midst, not able themselves to energize anything, but are hindering them. In the same way, so these make a pageant only in the world, being led away by the bodily pleasures. All right, kind of spaced out, but you got me back with the bodily pleasures. 8. These things being thus, O Tat, those which are from the God both have belonged to us and will belong. Let those from us follow and not lag behind, for the God is not the cause, but we are the cause of evil things, preferring these to the good. Thou seest, O child, how many bodies we must pass through, and how many choirs of demons, and continuity and courses of stars, that we may hasten to the one and only God. For the good is insurpassable, indeterminable, and endless. In itself also it is without beginning, but to us seeming to have as beginning the knowledge. The knowledge then does not become a beginning to it, but to us it affords the beginning of that which should be known. It's just random thought. I think I have to say it out loud. I think a lot of people, like if you're a little bit inquisitive, curious, and maybe even a little bit skeptical, then in order to confront the sense or nonsense. Obviously, if you have some asshole at a pulpit making it nonsense, then it's going to be nonsense for you. I just noticed the names of the planets are written if you look at it from a certain angle. Anyway, what am I talking about? Yeah, so the idea of, like, beyond all other lowercase gods, Zeus, Shiva, whatever, you know. I mean, this is their pitch. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just saying this is the misunderstanding or the common understanding-ish. In other words, what I'm talking about is the idea of there being this one being, this one timeless, eternal, immortal thing in which the universe is maybe but a cell. And that being existent in present time in the many fires within the fires within the fires of that great oneness being, one can have a direct relationship with it. But then along comes Zeus, and he's like, oh yeah? But why him and not me? Because look at him. What do you call him? Yahweh? You know, that's a tribal god. That's a Semitic tribal god. So am I. In fact, I'm cooler than a Semitic fucking tribal god, and I'm, you know, like Zeus, whatever. And so see how that doesn't make sense? Like, because you and Zeus are both looking at this unknowable, unfathomable paradox of existence together. And so he's not even playing the same sport. It's like one person's running for president, the other one's a cricket player. So, I mean, I guess these days, you know, if you can be a good enough cricket player, you can run Pakistan. But anyway, I'll keep reading. 9. Let us lay hold of the beginning, and we shall make way with quickness through everything. For it is altogether perverse, the abandoning things and accustomed and present, to revert to those ancient and pristine. What are you talking about? For the things appearing delight, but those appearing not difficulty in believing. Did you just... What? Is this a real translation? But the evils are more apparent, but the good is obscure to the eyes. For there is neither form nor figure to it. For this reason it is similar to itself, but to all others dissimilar, for it is impossible for incorporeal to be apparent to body. By the way, if you heard me read that and thought, well, obviously it's this, if you put the emphasis there, it'd make more sense. Probably I'll realize that while I'm editing, and then every point in the future that I read it. Otherwise, it just seemed... I could revisit it and try it again. For the things appearing delight... comma, but those appearing not cause difficulty in believing. No, it really is a weird sentence, isn't it? 10. This is the difference of the like from the unlike, and to the unlike is the shortcoming to the like. For the monas, the monas or unit, the monus, being beginning and root of all... Editor Edward, I forgot, but I just remembered. Hit it! Today's episode is brought to you by the letter epsilon. Here it is in uppercase, here it is in lowercase. It is the 5th letter of the Greek alphabet, and it comes from the Phoenician letter He, which I believe is probably related to the Hebrew letter He, right? Seems to be the case. And it's the origin of the Latin letter E and the Cyrillic whatever this is and whatever that is. They also use these, but those were the ones that looked weird, so those are the ones that you got to see first. All right, so now you got your... Let's see if I can guess what it is. Is it gamma? No, it was epsilon. Is gamma our letter today? He's in my future, so I don't think he can hear me. I've been trying to remember to do the Greek letters in the Pymander series. Okay, we're going to gradually work our way to, what is it? Omega? I know a little bit, but not much. The root of all things is in all things as it were root and beginning. For without beginning is nothing, but beginning is out of nothing, but out of itself. Since it is beginning of the others. I suppose it's like no worse than listening to like someone like a quantum whatever talking about, oh no, it's the wrong question. Like, but what was before the Big Bang? No, there's no before the Big Bang. Like, yes, there is. If you, wind your clock back and then keep going. It's like, no. But so how? There was no how. No, it's how isn't it? How is a now thing. Like, back then, there was no back then or now or how. Like, all right, Hermes. For it is this beginning, since there happens not being other beginning. Did you even try to translate this? For it is not this beginning, since there happens not being other beginning. I'll just keep reading. I like it, but it's a little bit like oddly translated like that. Shouldn't you have tried to make that make sense? I guess there's still some these and thous in it, so what are you going to do? Monad, then being beginning, it comprises in it every number, comprised by none, and it engenders every number, engendered by no other number. 11. But everything engendered is imperfect and divisible. What? Yes. May be increased and diminished, but to that perfect... Nothing. To that perfect nothing of these things happen. Okay. And what may be increased also is increased by the monad, but is consumed by its own weakness, when no longer able to receive the monad. I don't think it's okay, Editor Ed Ray. I think we should stop with the Sufi Blue Oyster thing. Like, it just does. It feels wrong, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel wrong to anybody besides me? This then to thee, O Tat, as far as possible is described by the image of God, which if thou contemplatest accurately, and shalt understand with the eyes of the heart, believe me, O child, thou shalt find the way to the things above, or rather the image itself will guide thee. For the spectacle hath something peculiar. Those who shall attain to the contemplation it detains and attracts, just as they say the magnet stone, the iron. The magnets and iron. That I can. Oh, that's the end of chapter 4. Hurrah for Christmas. Well, I officially, and I think I can speak for all of us here in my brain, I didn't hate chapter 4. Some of the translation was a little odd, but I didn't hate it. It was thought-provoking, and it wasn't infuriating at all, like Pymander has been in the previous chapters. The first chapter was all right, but it got a little preachy. The second chapter, I didn't get into the second chapter. And what did we just finish? The third or the fourth chapter? We just finished the fourth chapter, so I don't know. Never mind. Just ignore me. The fourth chapter, I'm down with the fourth chapter. Just for the record. I was thinking to do a tier list. Should I do a tier list? Yeah, let's do a tier list. So we've got the yesterday, so we got S tier to D tier, right? And we have yesterday, not yesterday, but whenever that was, before now. It was Edward doing Nag Hammadi. Well, I mean, it got really ugly. Thomas got really ugly, and it's like, yes, I could strain if I wanted to try to interpret and explain that, women can't, get to heaven, so they have to become men to get to heaven. That's what they said to Tara, 2,000 years ago in India, and she swore never to incarnate as a man, and took the Bodhisattva vow, and she's a feminist icon, so it seems a little bit backward to go into agreement with that, even as an abstract or even as a metaphor. But, if it's supposed to mean receptive as opposed to projective or something, then use a different word, asshole, So that was my impression of Nag Hammadi today, so we'll put it at D tier. And before that was Carl Jung on what happened with Carl Jung. Oh yeah, you know, like it's kind of like, okay, he's going back, he's continuing his, I mean, it depends on how, like, was there anything insightful? Not really, but his drama with Salome is always entertaining, but it's kind of gotten a little bit old. And they didn't even have any, like, chemistry this time around. It was just hatred and bile back and forth. And so I'll have to put Carl Jung's entry at a C. Not quite as unpleasant as Nag Hammadi was. And then before that, Meccan Revelations, I have no complaints. I'll put that at a solid A because it doesn't strike me as an S, but it struck me as a B, but then I realized A wasn't the top. It was fine. Meccan Revelations. And then before that was I Ching. I have no complaints about I Ching. I'll put I Ching up at S. So this is my ranking of the cycle of 5, counting from today up through and including today. And I'll go ahead and put reading chapter 4 of the Divine Pymander. I'll put that at an S as well. Because it's a little bit of a grading on a curve because I want to like the Pymander for obvious reasons, right? And so it's been frustrating that I don't. And being honest about that has been a little bit painful because I have to be like, hey, everybody, I'm going to read the Pymander. My name is the Pymander. Okay, you ready? And, oh, I hate this. This sucks. You know, like, so it's a bit of a downer. But today was an upper. And because it was an upper, it was even more of an upper than it was. So, yeah. And then we got the reminder about the don't forget the water. We've got the planets and the thing. We'll dip that in here. We'll dip the Benedict in there, right? Put a little bit of the blood of the lamb, you know. Never mind. Let's just ignore that last part. Okay, so I think we did it. I think we did an episode of Chicken Philosophy, and I think that it was good. It was all right. I enjoyed it. That's the important thing. To me, anyway. I don't know how important it is to you, but I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you're here, and feel free to comment below. Feel free to like and subscribe. And so next up on Chicken Philosophy, whenever we get around to it, and presumably I'll be doing Buddhist books next, but next time it'll be BT's turn to do I Ching. So that'll be fun. And we're done with the trigrams, so now we're going to start looking at combinations of trigrams that produce the hexagrams, other than the ones with themselves. We've already been over the ones with themselves. But anyway. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time. Up here, this is the metaphorical 15, which is the cycle of 15 that we're in the middle of has a name now. This is the 8th, which we're right in the middle of the metaphorical 15. So check out this playlist if you want to catch up on recent episodes and know what I was giving all those different rankings. Check out this below, Interdimensional Coffeehouse.